The Lord, it's Thursday and we meet each other again. The WIP crew is ready for this virtual event. The seas might be rough, but we will have a jolly time. Is everybody here? Are the avatars in line? There's so much going on in the NFT world. It seems like uncharted sea. Let Matthew and Rizzle guide us through. The speaker is ready and so are we. Let's keep sailing on the Metaverse. Thursdays when the lightning strikes. So listen up, there's a lot to learn. Keep the treasure in your sight. Please no one get the veggie draw. Just upgrade your microphone. Together we're strong, we ain't gonna stop. Welcome to the WIP Meetup.
Ooh, there we go. Mic check. Can y'all hear me okay? There we go. Very crispy. I've been waiting to hear that theme song for a minute. 3 weeks, y'all. We were gone for 3 whole weeks on vacation, touching grass, building sandcastles, body surfing, doing all the things. But I was really excited to come back this week. And it's really distracting though, because we're in the new WIP Ground Zero build in Hyperfy, and I see Brookhawk doing this like really sexual dance for some reason. It's like very wavy. I'm not sure what's going on. But that's like exactly why I come to the WIP, to see Brookhawk do weirdly sexual dances in virtual worlds. And if y'all noticed, we have a brand new build, the WIP Ground Zero. We're going to be doing a lot of things out of this build every week with the WIP before we dive into the main show. More on that later. Rizzle's going to uncover and unpack all of that. I'm really excited though for the WIP today. We got Paradox that's going to step up to the mic and talk about the epic project that he's been working on called CodeTrip that's about to launch, giving us more details on the actual mint and all that good stuff. Can't wait for that. And we're going to be diving into Decentraland with Bay and Fractillions to go on a curated tour, part of the Mesh Art Fair, and some other fun stuff there. That's it, y'all. I just can't wait for the WIP this week. For anyone that may be in Asia with me that is up at an ungodly hour, which is no one except for myself, hit me up. I'm in Seoul for the next few weeks. And with that, really excited to pass the mic to my dude Rizzle and have him get us hype for the Metaverse event that's about to unfold in front of us. Rizzle, dude, let's go, man. Let's
Yo,
go.
check. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, it's so nice to be back. It seemed like we were gone forever. I mean, it was good to be gone, but it's good to be back. And I don't know. It just seems like hearing the theme song for the first time in so long and dancing amongst these like floating donuts and Rizzle vlogs. It's just like the wackiness / seriousness of what we do is just like so good. I got a couple things to get through, and then we're going to pass the mic over to Paradox for an update on his project CodeTrip, and then we're going to shove everyone through that portal on the stage into Decentraland so we can get a really dope art tour by Fractalians and Bay. So let me get through my stuff, and then we will get it rolling. We're at ground zero. So we actually have a lot of ideas for this, but we leaned heavily on Fractalians to whip this together. And so she has been sort of the point person for this, but let me give you like the short-term idea of what we're going to do, which is make an absolute mess out of it. So if anyone in the community would like to throw some GLBs our way, or become a builder on this plot, we want to mess around with it and tinker around with all the stuff that we can do and incorporate community stuff. So feel free to pick it apart, critique it, give us advice, things you want to see in here. Too much Rizzle stuff. Why is it so dark? We should have some signage directing people to Discord, stuff like that. The idea is to like really make this a dope, like ever evolving community sort of jump off point for the WIP. And that's why, and that way everyone knows where we meet up each week and knows where to go. But there are also broader plans in place for this, hence the name Ground Zero. But I actually don't even want to like spill the beans publicly here. However, if you are interested in goofing around in here, anything goes. As you can see, we got like, there's plants. So I just sent Fractalians as much stuff as I had, which is why there's so much Rizzle stuff. So you got like spinning Rizzle blocks and some plants I 3D scanned and like, a bunch of random things and everything. But we want your random things. And yeah, easy. We want your old retro palms and bonsai trees. Exactly. So give us your stuff so we can bring it in here so we can like show it off each week. And as the weeks unfold, I think if we can do what we're trying to do, this place will be a pretty legendary place. So I will leave it at that. A couple of things I want to plug. Everybody knows Jin, right? He is doing a VR chat thing that's like this big presentation at 1 p.m. tomorrow. He's sort of leading a field trip there. I know Steady Breaks is going. I'm just dropping the details for that here. So I was originally going to go, but now I'm going to end up being on a bus to NYC to visit the Museum of Modern Art with the Metaverse crew. It's a long story, but anyway, I'll be on a bus. So I'm going to try and hop in there next week on my own, but check that out. Yeah, it should be dope, Meta guys, especially like, a tour with Jin, who has like a lot of knowledge around what's going on. It's not like you're just showing up blind or whatever. So let's see, what else do I got? I'm almost done, I promise. We're getting watermelon today. This is very important. Make sure you sign the guest book. I'm dropping it in the chat here. Fabiano and Patricia made us all voxel watermelons, so that is awesome, and of course we really appreciate that. Let's see, do I have anything else? I think that's just about everything. We will be back next week with a really dope whip, but I'll save that for the end. And give you the lowdown on what we got going on, and won't take up any more time here. Make sure y'all stay here towards the end for a group shot with Paradox at some place in Decentraland that is going to be awesome, that I'm not even really sure where it is yet, but it doesn't matter because it will be dope. And of course, stick around for the afties with show. We are in the general chat channel in Meme Explorers if you're lost and have no idea where the chat is going on, so you can find us there. Stick around here as we warp world so you don't get lost. And if you have any questions, please direct them at show in the chat box. Yeah. And then also send us money and send us like all your things and everything. We are broke. We like basically do this for free every week. Although we have some ideas, maybe with this spot that might help that out a little bit. In the meantime, if you don't trust Matt, you can donate to the WIPmeetup.eth. It will go directly to the crew. You can see us for details, and we can show you the smart contract if you don't trust us. Shout out to the crew who makes this happen week in and week out. Sandy Meows, Foxy Yoga, Easy, Paradox Show, Dragonate, Conwolf the Stowaway, Brookhawk the Chef, Fabiano, Patricia, Johan, Matthias, Matt. Thank you all so much for being out here. There's a lot of other people that have contributed so much that are in the audience right here. So cool to see everyone turn out. I will shut up and Matt Shady. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Paradox so you can get a lowdown on his project that is going to drop soon. And I also recorded a podcast with him and his developer, 9/0, if you want a deeper dive into it. So I'm going to drop that link in the chat box and let Paradox take the mic and tell you a little bit about what he's cooking up.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you, man.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Hey, WIP fam. It is good to be back. It's been a quick and long 3 weeks. Right. Okay. So most of you know me, but if you don't, I am Paradox. I am the resident WIP videographer, and I work on all the event videos for the WIP every week. But that's not why I'm here today. Usually, if I have a project to shill, I kind of tack it on the at the start of my photo segment. However, today I've asked for an actual speaker slot because I want a little bit more time. So because I want to share with you guys a project that myself and an extremely talented developer called 9/0 have been working on behind the scenes for the best part of like 2.5 years, right? Cool. The project is called CodeTrip. It is a fully on-chain, generative, super interactive, and cinematic NFT series. And it's dropping on the 26th of July, and that's next Wednesday. It's actually dropping on a new generative art platform called Prohibition, which is using the Arbitrum network, and it's powered by the battle-tested Art Blocks engine. So the smart contracts and stuff are going to be good to go. CodeTrip is a massive project. I got some numbers here. We decided to put it fully on chain, so it came out to, I think it was 850 kilobytes, and the engine was about 649 kilobytes, and ours was still 200 kilobytes. To put that into perspective, most Art Blocks projects and stuff are normally in the ranges of 25 kilobytes, so it's big. And fun fact, the name CodeTrip and the logo were made by Metageist, so huge thanks to you, man. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw your eyes to the chat, please, and I'm going to post a bunch of links. There we go. Okay, cool. So you'll see a video trailer on a tweet which you can watch all about CodeTrip. You'll see a link to the Prohibition project page, but most importantly, you're going to see a link titled Explore Full Features. Right. Now, what this link does is it takes you to a preview link where you can keep pressing F5 to refresh, and you'll keep getting new generations. This link also allows you to play and test out the full features of CodeTrip. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to share my screen and give you a bit of a quick demo of the project and show you around some of the awesome interactive features. So let me just do that now quickly. Okay, let me know if you can see this. Is that live? Someone give me a thumbs up that you can see it. They're sharing the screen.
Yep.
Cool.
Looking good.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you around a little bit. So this is CodeTrip. The general premise is it's a vehicle speeding down a highway, like a Metaverse highway. Everything you see is generative, but importantly, there are no assets. Everything is being created painstakingly with math and code by 9/0. So let's have a quick look at the car, for instance. So we have loads of different car types. Some are stretched, some are flying. There's different colors. This one's got wings. I'm going to go to another page. So we have this one's like a sports car, and it has a spare wheel on the back, which I'll get to that in a second. In the back, you've got giant suns. You've got mountains. You've got different terrains. Let's skip ahead. So you got trees and stuff. You've got these things called monoliths, which are sort of decorations. You've got lasers in the background, giant suns. Let's have about buildings here. You've got cars with like what we call pop wheels and different color tires. Let's keep going. Yeah, we've got these gates here. And the last one I want to show you is, and I want to talk a little about our interactive features. And this is where it gets kind of exciting. It's not just an NFT you look at, it's a really interactive NFT. So what you can do is you can press the escape button and it takes you to a menu. And you can see all the viewing controls. You've got, so let's just show you. So the viewing controls for the vehicle. So you can accelerate, you can reverse, you can steer. So let's try that out. So yeah, see I'm moving around left and right. I can slow down. I can press the H key, turn my lights on and off. I'm going to zoom in. You can see this one's even got guns on the front. You can turn the guns, and you can shoot the guns. This one's even got a light on the back, and at the back of this one as well, it has mini jet engines. So there's like absolutely tons you can do. So I'm just gonna flick back to this menu. So not only can you control the car, but you've got different camera controls. So let's have a look. So we've got these different modes here along the right. So I'm going to go to an explore mode, and I'll go to advanced. And what this does is it allows me to basically like completely explore this terrain. Let's go back to our explore mode. I can even let go of the car and go super far into the distance. I'm going to scroll all the way up. Let's have a look. So you can see it's this kind of like perfectly looping terrain. You can even change the draw distance. So yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of some of the things in CodeTrip. But one thing else I want to bring your attention to, and this is, I guess, the trip in CodeTrip. So I'm going to go back to, where is it? This one. So if you press the escape and go to the settings and effects, you scroll down and we've got these engage CodeTrip area. So let's go, you can pick one of these. So let's go to Mystic. And then wait for it, if it's going to activate. Right, and then you'll see, sort of start to see the colors merging. And it does get really trippy. And you can completely customize this experience. So through the menu, I can't go through everything today, but you can change things like the, let me just change the menu. You can change things like the draw distance and the resolution. So let's change the resolution. You go all the way down. So it's super old school, and all the way up to like 4K. It's beautiful. There's a shit ton of stuff you could do in CodeTrip. And you tell me this, have you ever seen an NFT this interactive and this kind of fun? Maybe not. So guys, we are doing a Mona event with Rizzle on the 25th. That's next Tuesday. We're going to do another deep dive, and we're going to give you guys another chance to kind of explore. But the actual drop for the actual drop is on the 26th on Prohibition. That's next Wednesday. You can follow us on Twitter at CodeTrip NFT. That's also in the links I gave you. This project has meant so much to us, and it's kept us busy for 2.5 years. We've put blood, sweat, and tears into the making. So I'd really appreciate some retweets from the fam, and also whilst you're playing around with this, share some screenshots. Share some love. Cool. I think that's about everything on my presentation. I'm here for any questions. If you have any technical questions, 9over0 is also here to help answer those too. And 9over0 is the developer for this whole project. It's been an epic teamwork. So yeah, that's my spew. Hit me with questions, show if you can, if there is any.
Hey, yo, what's going on? How's my audio?
Perfect.
Yeah, I had to. Wasn't sure. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. What's the deal? Sorry for delaying the questions. I just needed to get through all this stuff really quickly. This is incredible. This is awesome. We have a couple of questions here. One is from Ballistic Banana. He would like to know, is this just an NFT? Is the whole trip an NFT itself?
Yeah, it's completely self-contained within your NFT. It's sold on Prohibition the same way you buy any generative art piece of art. Most generative pieces of art are limited to sometimes an orbit camera or speed up the artwork deploying. But yeah, this is basically there's so much more you can do with code, especially on the Arbitrum network, because you have the costs of uploading to Arbitrum are insanely cheap compared to mainnet, right? So we were looking at one point when the gas was high on mainnet at $30,000 to upload. It's a lot of code. Whereas on Arbitrum, I think it costs us about $200. So, and we were originally building this for mainnet. So if we'd known from the start we were building for Arbitrum, this would be an entirely different project. But considering the amount of code we've used, I think it's crazy how much you can do in it. So yeah.
That's cool. We have another question from Dragonade. He would like to know, instead of 4K, why not more than 4K? Why limit it to 4K?
That's a question for 9/0. I might have got that wrong. Are you here, 9/0? He might be whacked. Try unmuting yourself, sir. There we go. Not whacked. So yeah, it's my
Sorry, I've got my headset muted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Great. It's not limited to 4K. It's limited to your monitor size. So, depending on the maximum size of your monitor's horizontal width, it will scale towards that. So, if you've got an 8K monitor, great for you. I don't, but yeah, if you've got an 8K monitor, you can view it in 8K.
That's awesome. We have another question from Easy in Crypto. He would like to know, do we have to do any wallet stuff to buy this on the Arbitrum?
Yes, that's a really important question. Prohibition, you have to basically bridge your Ethereum over to Arbitrum. It's a really easy process, and Prohibition have got their own. They've kind of built their own bridge. It's extremely easy. It's about as simple as swapping on Uniswap. You know, you select your ETH wallet, and it automatically sends it to your Arbitrum wallet. And because it's layer 2, it's that there is no making new. It's all the same network, right? So it's incredibly easy. So if you plan on buying, just make sure you have enough if Arbitrum Ethereum in your wallet using the bridge. That can be found on the Prohibition website, which is prohibition.art. I can also drop that as a link a little bit later.
Cool. We have a question from Metageist, which, by the way, Metageist, sure, your mic is open. But we have a question from Metageist. Metageist would like to know how many mints and how much.
That's a very good question. So we are doing there is a total of 1,024, but we've minted two each. No, sorry, one each. Generally speaking, a lot of generative art projects nowadays do a lot less, and that seems to be the trend. But because we have so much in CodeTrip, I think it's the amount of generations we could possibly do is, what did I say to Rizzle the other day? If 1 million is 6 zeros, you add another 60 zeros, and then you're there. So it's a big project, and we have like a lot of special features which are like worked out on like traits that are done like 1% chance. So if we were to do, only 200, there's so much in this project that would be never seen. So yeah, we feel like we can justify the edition size simply because of how big it is. And the price, it's a Dutch auction. It's starting at 3 Ethereum, and it's working all the way down to 0.12.
That's cool. And lastly, we have some questions from Brocock. He would like to know, is this all on chain, and is it true that 9/0 worked for cheese sandwiches?
Okay, so it is completely on chain. We uploaded the Free.js engine along with our code, which made up 3/4 of the size, just so we can definitely say it's all on chain. So there's no IPFS. This belongs on chain, and it's here to stay. And the question about sandwiches, yeah. So I took the kind of gamble about a year ago to ask 9/0 to come work from my house. So he's been working from my house in my dining room for the past year, full time on this project. I was paying him less than a minimum wage because that's what I could afford, and I fed him cheese sandwiches, Red Bull, Starbucks coffee every day. Like, that's where the budget went, really. And minestrone soup. And we talk about this a lot in the podcast Rizzle.
Yo, Paradox 9/0. Thank you both so much for hopping on. Yeah, we took a deep dive into the food situation over there. So check out the podcast if you want to learn more about the project and about the food situation over at Paradox's spot. With that, we're gonna pass the mic over to Bay and Fractillions, and while we're doing that, we're gonna funnel a whole group of people through this portal. If you look over at the stage, there's like a door to the bottom right of the big WIP signage and everything, and that is the portal to where we're going today. So if you walk through there, if we did this correctly, we should pop through the other side into Decentraland, and of course it's going to load and everything. But while we're popping through, I'll also drop the link for people in Discord and pass the mic over to either Bay or Fractillions, whoever wants to give us a little bit of an overview on what's going on here. This is a portion of the Mesh Art Fair, which has been going on for a little while now. And all y'all know Fractillions and Bay. We had them here a couple weeks ago, both incredible creators within the space. So I can let them do their thing. I did whack Bay earlier because she had a hot mic. I didn't want her to give up all the secrets and everything right away. So it looks like I was on Polygon. So I got to switch to mainnet in order to pop through this portal. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to pass the mic over to Bay, or at least unwhack her and Fractillions, and they can give you an overview on what we're about to see right here.
I think Bay disappeared. Can you hear me?
Yep, sounds good.
I'm like, where did Bay go? I think she's probably going out and back in. But awesome to be here, Paradox. Oh my god, holy shit, that was amazing. Such an awesome project. Sorry, I'm still in there running around. So I'm switching between trippy and I think I'm in a crazy state. Now I have to come back to Earth. So if I don't make sense, I blame you guys for your awesome project. So I guess...
just before you keep going, your mic is a little bit choppy. You might just need to lean a little bit closer or something.
Okay. Can you hear me better now or no?
It's a little bit better. It's I'd say 7 out of 10. Totally doable. At least on my end. People can correct me if I'm wrong. Say it again.
I will try and talk a little bit louder. Hey,
yeah, for the it's totally acceptable.
Okay, cool. Hey, Bay, I thought it would be great if you could do an intro, but we're about to run through since this is your baby. I think some of you guys joined us for our little Mesh preview, and this is actually now the official part of the Metaverse Art Week, which is happening in Decentraland right now. And Mesh, I'll pass it to you so you can tell them all about it. Can you talk, Mesh? Oh no. Is she talking, or am I not listening or hearing her?
It looks like she is unmuted, but we're not getting anything. She might be on the always awful disease of push to talk that knows how to unwind or uncork. So Discord may have got her. I didn't do it, Bay. I whacked you when you had a hot mic. It looked like it was working earlier. I don't know if you changed something on your end. Yeah, the old push to talk. If you're on mobile, maybe press P. I don't even know how it works. It's a mystery. Push P, says Dragon8. We'll see if we can get it working.
Yeah, usually I have to go into the settings. Even before I came in, my audio wasn't working. So maybe if you're on your...
I'm dropping the link in Hyperfi as well while we're trying to get Bay's mic working here. In the meantime, while we're trying to figure out Bay's mic situation, I'm pretty sure these are basically exhibits in some sort of order here that we can start checking out while we figure it out. Am I correct in saying that?
Oh, sorry, I missed. I was trying to help her. I was reading her message.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. This is good. This is a proper comeback for the whip. If it didn't, I mean, this is fam. So if we didn't break a whole bunch of things and Discord audio didn't cooperate, yeah, it feels like the old days. Which is stories. Yeah, this is in the early days of the whip, things broke more than they worked. So we've come a long way.
Ooh, me.
Oh man.
I'm going to take a picture. I'm literally going to take a picture of how many mics I have got in front of me.
my god.
I mean, like,
One of them is working, one of them is not.
I have 5, and literally I've got the dorkiest one on that looks like I'm in a call center, and this is the only one that's working.
Yeah, that's me too right now, babe.
So okay, I think we got it. You turned off
Yeah.
something that was given like horrible feedback. Someone did. So I think. Okay, wait. Let's just go around the horn here. Hey, you say something.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
Is it
A little bit of- yeah, she knows like one's gonna lose wire. I think we're good enough. We can roll with it. Sounding great.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We got
Okay,
it all the way
okay.
around. Bay, make sure your mic is plugged in fully. There's a bit of a sonic hum coming from you.
this is why I don't use this dorky one. Right, I'm going to... Fractilians, are you in world, my love? Because...
I'm actually
This is-
right now in Hyper-5, and we're about to run through the portal to head over to Decentraland. Should we all
Yeah,
run
let's
over and go through?
Let's go
Okay,
over.
Yes.
And
okay.
in the meantime, I'm going to plug in another mic, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to come back to this one, okay?
Okay,
All right,
I'm gonna
we got
screen
this.
share. Is it okay if I screen share on here?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
we got
cool,
a bunch
let's
of
do
people
that.
in Decentraland already. I'm gonna hop back in the Hyper-5 spot and then drop the link again, and we'll get it sorted out. Go through
Cool.
the portal. It could take a bit, right? You might be on like Arbitrum or wherever Paradox is, and we'll
I'm
figure it out.
I'm still coming back to Earth, and now the WIP logo is getting me mesmerized. See, I want to go towards the WIP logo now. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Sandy says, "Space mic is fine. Fractilians, you're still in space.
I know,
It's-
sounds like about right.
It's it's passable."
I think that's every day. I don't think I come down, and I need a better mic. But I swear, it's always the cheap ones that actually work. Like, May, you have your cheap one working? Me too. Right now, it's...
Yeah, we all need better mics. As soon as the master plan unfolds and tons of money keep pouring in for the WIP's public broadcasting system, and we can, build the future of the metaverse together, we will all get, like at least like decently working cheap microphones. I feel like that should be like a.
You get a mic. You get a mic.
You get a mic. You get a mic. Right. We all need mics. None of this shit works.
Look at this. What a crew. Oh, Meta guys, look at that. That's sick. He always has cool shit.
Let's do an ICO. Do the mic. All right, shall we herd someone in some direction while we're
Yeah,
sorting
yeah.
this out here?
Hey,
Or,
are you with us again, or? Uh-oh. I think we
Oh,
lost
no.
her again.
just go,
Well, I
just
can
go
be
back
the
to whatever we're
impromptu-
doing, Bay. We'll roll with it.
I know. So yeah, this is oh no, she left again. Every time I'm like, take over. I can't say take over because that's the cue for nothing to work. So yeah, this is right now we're part of the Metaverse Art Week. This is like the main one of the main events. Well, the main event pretty much. And right now, for those of you who went to the preview one, you saw that there was like 8 cubes, and in this one there's 28 plus the other 8 cubes are still available to run around. So if you guys all want to follow me, we can start heading over and check out some cubes, and we'll just follow where Rizzle is. There he is. Hopefully she'll be joining us. And just in case, just to give a little overview, Bay is a Web3 producer and artist, and she's actually the director of MESH, the art fair for 3D metaverse and VR creators. And she is the curator of art here in Decentraland. So, yeah. And
So- Fractilians, give us a little context of what we're seeing here. So like essentially these are all like individual installations created by all different artists for the purpose of this art fair. Is that correct? Like everyone
Yeah,
got a
and-
box, or how does it work?
oh, she's back. Okay. Hey, yeah, I think perfect timing. I'm not gonna say anything. You can share now.
Am I on? Okay.
Yes.
This is a more posh mic, so I shouldn't have the crazy sound.
Ooh, it sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it,
Okay.
got it.
We're good. Yeah. Mesh is an art fair for 3D metaverse and VR creators. It is our second day today, so we opened yesterday as part of Metaverse Art Week 2023. And if you're in the build right now, are you guys in the build? I'm kind of on my own in the build. Are you guys in Heimdallr? The crazy
we
one?
are.
Which realm are you in?
Yeah, we're here on the side, on the right. Yeah, we're over here on the right-hand side.
Okay, so I'm going to come and find you guys. So yeah, you'll see this build is inspired by the work of Ike Taiga. He's a Japanese artist that was born 300 years ago. And we worked with an amazing architect called Luca Escobar to create this immersive environment based on Taiga's work. And the screens that you see in front of you, they are AI algorithms that we trained on Taiga's illustrations from Edo period Japan to kind of create this environment. And then in there, we've placed these 28 different cubes, each of which has an immersive art installation by an international artist that was selected by a group of curators from things like people like Ed Zipko of Super Chief Gallery LA, Kate Vass from Kate Vass Gallery Switzerland. We had Alex Estrick and Danielle King from Right Click Save and Club NFT. Gosh, so many, NFT Gallery London. So many people kind of came together to curate the artists that are part of this show. And so, yeah, this is what you see in front of you. And I kind of love this opportunity to share some of these artworks with the WIP community if we can, because every artist had the limitation of 10,000 tries. You know, the Decentraland's a really low poly environment, so we didn't know how this would work. We're working with a lot of artists that are from digital natives, so 3D artists that are used to, you know, file sizes of 2 million tries, and trying to work with them into this environment was a massive challenge. But like I was saying in so many podcasts, like I've got to the stage now where I'm opening my emails and there's a GLB file and I'm crying at the beauty of a GLB being delivered in my inbox for this fair. So yeah, really happy to have you guys here. Brighton, I think I messaged you to say, like, do you have a favorite cube that you want to start with?
That's like the question. I don't really think I have a favorite one. They're all so different and magical. That's what's great about it. Like, I could just run into a cube and be happy. So I think we could just pick one, which I think Rizzle has. Let's go into Idle Hands.
Going into Idle Hands by Hannes Hummel. Okay, cool.
Yes,
That's
let's
number
go.
2. So if we go into number 2 then. No, it's not number 2. Which is Hannes? Number 3.
I'm right here on the stairs. Okay, number 3.
Whoa, number 4.
Number 3.
Crazy that Metageist is in.
Yeah. So if we hit cube number 3. Okay. So I think we've also got CK in the crowd as well. So we're going to start in Courtyard 1. We're going to do, I think, sort of 3 cubes so we can kind of talk about where this work has come from. CK is with us today, so they are going to talk about their cube, which is cube 18. But we're going to kind of have a look at a couple in Courtyard first. Courtyard 1 first. So I think we'll go into Hannes, which is Hannes Hummel, who is an incredible artist. This is the first time he's worked in the Metaverse, and it's the cube that Rizzle was in, so number 3. And then we're going to have a look at cube number 7, who's he's a native Metaverse builder, so we can kind of see the difference. I mean, as Fractilian says, there are literally 28 here, and there's 4 more cubes at Edifice. So there is so much to see here that we're obviously not going to be able to take you through. But if we start at cube number 3, I'm going to jump.
We're all on 7 already.
Ah, you're in 7.
We ran. We're like, oh,
yeah. So 7 is Raurag. So I'm going to jump to cube number 7. And Raurag is a Web3 artist. So if you want to know any of this information about the artist, you kind of just click on the cube, and that'll take you to the Mesh site. In the Mesh site as well, there's a link to claim wearables. So in the Mesh site, you link there and you'll see there's all the cubes and all the information from the artist. And in the menu on the top, it says wearable. If you want to have the Mesh Halo for being part of Mesh Edition 1, being a Mesh OG, just enter your ETH address in there and just share a picture of your favorite cube. We're actually going to be collecting these as sort of like a fun vote. It doesn't really, these cubes are all amazing, but just to have some interaction with the artists and show the artists that people are enjoying these installations, then you can share a selfie of yourself in the cube and get a Mesh Halo wearable. So we're number 3.
On my Mesh Halo. I just found
your Mesh Halo on.
Yes.
Yeah, did you see I've layered my halos? So I've actually got a normal halo layered with a Mesh Halo, which I'm living right now.
Oh, sick.
So if you're number 7 in Warrag, he is a artist that spans kind of interior and architecture, and he's kind of been into CAD drafting, the 3D visualization, and he's actually based in the Philippines. And it's sort of this real evolution of his work now that he's kind of sort of specializing as a metaverse artist. And you can see these brutal cubes for him are this occupying this space and moving in a random fashion to shift, squish, rotate, and evoking the experience of both chaos and occasional elegance. And so as visitors, we're invited to explore and wander amidst the dynamic interplay of the cubes. So you can kind of jump above them, look at these vantage points, and have a look at this kind of ever-changing, almost abstract cube installation that he's created here. I think if you had a look at number 7, another one to look at in this courtyard is Linda Lowe's, which is cube 6. And you might like also number 4, which is Melaman. I think Melaman's kind of been the favorite for a lot of people coming into the exhibition. And number 6 is really interesting because it's based on a crack. So let's see. Rizzo, do you want to choose 4 or 6?
I think we're already in one of them.
I'm already in 6. I'm down to do both. These are all. I'm loving this. Honestly, this is so cool. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that there were like a lot of restraints that the artist had to work within, because that sort of like gives some perspective on like just all of this. I don't know. This is so cool. I'm gonna get off the mic so you can keep going. This is so dope.
Oh, no, it's so cool. I mean, the thing is, like, there's so much information here as well. So if you kind of want the background of all the cubes, it's all, so just click the cube and it'll take you to the artist information, because everyone has taken this so seriously. These are all site-specific installations. Like, none of this work existed before Mesh, which is what's so exciting about this. And all these artists have got incredible careers behind them, incredible portfolios. Most are really successful NFT artists on platforms like Super Rare. And they've come into this just this really open perspective and have created these works. And I don't know, it just feels such a privilege to be able to explore each of these places. Like we've had a couple of spaces with the artists, and it just dives so deep and so profound into the meanings of these works. So, for example, Linda's cube is based on a crack. So she's a multimedia artist that's based out of Australia and New York, and her works look at navigating the elusive form and materiality of digital space within the transformed sources of light. So she's undertaken lots of different residencies around the world, and I'm actually scrabbling for an email because she sent me I talked about her work in a space, and she sent me some clarifications going, actually, this work is from this. So then I'm going to open Linda's clarification email. So it was this curatorial project run by Lonely Rocks, a pseudo DAO, and there were curators working together from around the world, ultimately making an exhibition of digital self-portraiture, which wasn't her usual theme. And so she'd had a booth showing the finalists of this experimental part of the Untitled Art Fair, and she was part of this. And then this work was, so she had this work that was part of this curation and a voting system. And she was developing this idea of a crack. So she'd seen the crack in a Brooklyn warehouse, and it came from the site of a Refraction NYC event. It was a physical event, and she was invited as an artist, and she was making a work, and she had to make it in response to the building. And she saw a photo of the building, and there was a crack. And then she took this crack, and it didn't get selected by this curatorial project. So she put it in this Decentraland cube instead. And this long crack was in this modernist building. And she thought the crack kind of responded to the gesture of the human body. There was like a wiggly form imposing its presence on the space from the floor to overhead. And so she wanted to create this sense of luminosity and a jarring aesthetic of this crack, announcing clearly that it's not a white cube. For her, it marks a moment in the confluence of experiments in textures, materials, game engine software, virtual reality, 3D software, and it's brought all together in Decentraland right now, and we're kind of in it. So you can jump on these boxes and see it from different perspectives. Fractilians, do you want to? That's me going off on one about Linda's cube. But yeah, are you in there? What are you thinking right now?
I'm making sure I'm in the right queue. I think I am. Yes, I am. Real good. I was like, is this cube? Because I've seen so many of them, and some of them are reminiscent of each other. Some of them are like, I remember seeing a crack somewhere else. And I'm like, is this the crack? I'm like, oh shit, it's the right cube.
Like a big rainbow crack floating.
I know, the rainbow
Right.
crack. I love, and like, I think you were talking about this when we were having our spaces the other day. Like, I think the magic is like the beauty of how everyone interprets what they can do within a confined, space, and having that idea of constraint and how that can actually, it's like a magical doorway to creativity and possibilities. Because sometimes you think, oh, if I can do whatever I want, it's like I think it's opposite. Constraint really is like helps add gasoline to creativity, I think.
Me, absolutely. And seeing the works that have been created, a lot of them you can't tell they're low poly. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen Dev Allen's cube. So I think before we leave Courtyard 1 and head out to CCKs in the other courtyard, I would really encourage people to go to number 12 to see Dev's
12.
cube.
Okay, cool.
So 12 is kind of, for me, one of these ones where you're like, I don't know how he did this. It creates.
Oh yeah, this is the one I thought was the crack. I'm like, this is two rocks cracked. So that's why I was confused. It's like, what the
It's
hell?
a rock, but it's not a crack.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a crack between it.
There
There's
is a
two rocks
crack.
that have cracked.
What we're just gonna do is tour themed on cracks, I think. This is
I
what I'm
know.
going right now.
Yeah,
So you
this
can
looks.
see that
I love the lighting. So cool, right?
the lighting's incredible. And the forms themselves, so I'm going to pitch it again. So Dev recently wrote a piece in Right Click Save magazine on techno-futurism and technostalgia. I encourage people to read it. I'm going to share it again in Twitter. But yeah, this really encapsulates a lot of the work he's doing in referencing these different forms that are coming out of digital media, and also his work doing installation, sculpture. He references things like landscape, and these words I can't say, anthropogenic change, post-humanism, and digital consumption. And he's exhibited internationally. He's got lots of private connections. I mean, he's like a massive guy, a fellowship finalist in digital media arts, lots of grants, exhibited at the Singapore Lights Festival. These artists are bringing this weight and this experience into Decentraland really for the first time, and be creating things like this. So this main work called Crash Sites is the main work in it is Gale Crater with Copper Mine, which is a speculative model which sites Bingham Copper Mine on the surface of Mars. The famed Utah Strip Mine is the largest human excavation in the world and the site of one of Robert Smithson's proposed land interventions. The Martian site, Gale Crater, is still being explored by NASA's Curiosity rover. So thematically, this exhibit reflects on the nascent traces of anthropogenic influence throughout the solar system, while connecting to the dense, messy, and complicated effects of the late Capitolocene. The work urges us to consider the deleterious effects of anthropogenic change and radical land use beyond Earth.
Wow, man, I need to up my descriptions of my art. Dude, I really appreciate. I made this using Blender. I love that and gravity sketch. That's like mind-blowingly, right? Like,
Yeah.
sorry, that was my first thought. I was like, wow, beautiful.
It's really beautiful. And I think a lot of people have come into this cube can spend a lot of time here. There's a video installation behind one of the cubes, about one of the installation pieces in here. And yeah, I feel something when I'm in this environment. CK, are you on the call?
CK.
CK, are you here?
Hopefully no mic issues for CK.
CK?
We jinxed it.
I don't know if CK's in the Discord. Is she roaming around?
They not come.
Well, let me message her. Should I message her real quick?
Yes,
CK, we are in the
just keep yelling
Discord.
CK into the metaverse.
Come
Yeah,
talk to
come
us.
CK.
I'll drop a chat link in Discord.
Okay, I'm gonna
Hey.
drop the link. Where's the? Oh yeah, can you drop the Discord invite? Oh, there it is. Wait, there, I found it. Okay, I'm gonna send it to her.
Great. So while we're waiting for CK, I think we should move over into courtyard number 2, which is on the other side of the installation. If you haven't already, have a play with your skyboxes as well. So if you click on your avatar in the top right-hand corner, and then click on settings in the menu bar, there is something called dynamic skybox. If you turn that off, you can then change your skybox time. And that's going to really change your relationship with a lot of the installations. For example, the one where we're going to go now, which is box 21, cube 21, we're going to see 21 and 22 together because they're both really strong and have kind of different feels to them. So 21 by an artist called Mortiza, who is working out of Iran right now, which I love because like supporting Iranian artists, because at the moment they're pretty much limited on a lot of the NFT platforms. So Mortiza's in Cube 21, and yeah, it's a really good one to play with your skybox. If you're on night setting, you might not see much in Mortiza's cube. You've got to change it right down to being around midday or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're going to run over to Mortiza's with 21.
Okay,
21 in the second courtyard.
Lucky 21.
And then next door is Mika's as well, which is extraordinary too.
I'm messaging CK and she thought it was at a different time.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Come, we are hanging. So I'm trying to have multiple.
I know, this is communications, like several
Like you
channels.
said, right? You were telling us you were having time. What was it? What did you call it? Time warps or in the metaverse?
We've got gremlins. There's time gremlins. Like time gremlins have taken over Mesh this year. Like everyone's heard not only time zone gremlins, but just literal times changing for them.
Ooh, we need to do time zone gremlin like Avatar. That'd be fun.
Oh,
I'm writing this down.
like gremlins and time zone gremlins that just come to haunt metaverse environments right now
Yeah.
and throw stuff at us and
Yeah.
disconnect
Oh,
lights.
she'll try. She's finishing dinner.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
she might not be able to come. Oh, we have another. How many minutes do we have left, Rizal? 10
How long we
minutes.
got, Rizal?
Yeah.
I would say we got maybe time for like a couple more boxes, and then we'll pass it over to Joe, who's sourcing some questions from the audience.
Excellent. Okay, 21, 22. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. It's definitely. She's probably not going to be able to make it. So. Okay. Wait. Where are we? Okay. So we stay here in 21, or where do we go now?
21, 21. So if we go up to 21, we'll be in Mortiza's cube.
21, 21. Oh,
Yeah. and
everyone's
turn your
coming.
sky-
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and turn that skybox, and it's got a soundscape as well. So if you've got your mic on to
Oh.
have a look at the soundscape.
Let's see what it sounds like.
Yeah. So Mortiza's a
Ooh,
visual
trippy.
artist from Tehran, and his work delves into the intricacies of human experience. I came across his work because he does some really amazing stuff on 3D scans of fetuses in wombs, and then trains AI algorithms on these fetuses to create 3D kind of interactive models of these meshes of, yeah, just humanity. So his art, it sounds creepy, but it's awesome.
No, no,
so
trippy,
he-
trippy.
Trippy, yeah.
Trippy, not creepy, trippy.
It's a little bit creepy.
No, I was thinking,
really-
I was saying trippy.
So his art is incorporating a variety of mediums, 3D, AR, and AI to create immersive and thought-provoking experiences. But again, this is his first installation in a metaverse environment. And he's merging two of his ongoing projects in this cube. The initial project, Anatomy of Pain, encompasses 3D models that can be utilized within metaverse environments with the objective of conveying the essence and concept. The second project is an interactive installation named Blindness, which is brought to life by leveraging the capabilities offered by the Decentraland rail ensemble. I don't even know what that means. But like, do you know what a rail ensemble is?
No,
No.
more fancy talk that I'm like blown away by. It's like, must be
let's
something
go.
really cool.
He does really cool stuff. He's done a really cool exhibition in Cube One. I love his work. Yeah. And then
The
next
sound is
door-
beautiful. It's magic. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What, in the last cube, I guess we have time.
He was one of the people where people send me the files and I go, I really can't deploy this, I'm so sorry. Because he'd made a hand at the top of the cube for the original installation, like a hand grabbing at you when you came in. But the rest of the human armature was like this giant at the side of the cube with just that hand sticking in it. So unfortunately, we had to rethink that one, and he simplified it for this build. But I really want to install the giant hand grabbing thing in its own parcel.
Hell yeah. That's good. Epic. So should we, the last one can we check out?
Yeah, let's go into Miko's, which is next door, number 22. And in fact, I think I want you to tell me about this one, like what you feel about it.
Dun, 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 dun. See if I can get in there. Oh yeah, this one reminds me of my '90s raver days. You know, like this is back to the '90s, sneaking out of my house, going to parties. Very cool.
So
Wow.
Mika's a glitch artist, and he was the first artist who ever sold a GLB through Sotheby's. So he's kind of this
Wow.
GLB OG, and he's created this work as what he calls the Glitch Haven, and it's a temple located deep underground where analog dancers worship glitch deities. By oscillating and gyrating, these devotees hope to generate more glitch to power their pixelated psyches. The Glitch Haven combines 3D modeling with analog video feedback, two aspects of Mika's work that frequently intersect with each other. And the mocaps that you can see are him. So all of these models dancing are Mika himself, raving in the metaverse.
Love it. See, it was Raven. So it's like I was spot on my initial take of wow. It would be fun to have like just one whole world with all the like insides of the cubes that you just run between all of. There's no cube anymore. It's just like this madness, you know.
Yeah, I just explore and just kind of keep running.
Think Hyperfire. Mm-hmm.
Ah!
You can do that in the cross
I really
metaverse
like
madness.
treehouses. I like being able to jump into crazy metaverse treehouses and be shocked
Oh my god.
by the art.
Yes. I actually thought of we could make a giant tree with these are all the leaves in a tree in
Yeah.
Hyperfire. Wouldn't that be fun? Like you're running up this tree and going to the branches, and those are the cube lives of different metaverses. So the same idea, interpreted differently.
But I'm not going to be able to stop doing Mesh because this process has been extraordinary, and just the conversations and working with these artists to produce these cubes. And a massive shout out to the Mesh support team as well. We had Decentraland DAO. Thank you, Decentraland DAO. Helped us support 3 support team workers, the mentors, Scott Moore, Oddjob, and Nikki Fuego, who were amazing at bug fixing and helping artists fit within the limitations of this environment. And without them, most artists wouldn't have been able to kind of create their visions to the standard they wanted to. So that was just huge in terms of this project. But yeah, so I guess any questions?
And one quick thing, Rizzle, this would be a great spot for the picture.
Yeah,
You know?
I was going to say the exact same thing. If people aren't already in box 22, why don't we pile on in here? And then once we're done with question and answers, we can pass the mic over to Paradox. He might have seen another one that he wants us to check out too. But everyone, in the meantime, I'll drop the link to Decentraland, pile on into box 22, and I'll pass the mic over to Show right now for some questions.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Sorry, I had my mic muted.
Hey, Show.
This was impressive. It feels like a very colorful whip so far. I noticed something very interesting that caught my eye, me being an artist also. When coming into Decentraland and walking into the exhibit, seeing how at first everything appears extremely just bland and lacking any kind of color whatsoever, and then suddenly when you walk up the stairs, the translucent stairs, you're like brought into these worlds that are full of color and style and flavor and vibe, which got me excited. So all in all, I love this exhibit. What inspired that that illusion of having everything kind of be this way, and then have you kind of be sucked up into these different boxes that have these worlds inside of them?
It's a great question. Yeah, I kind of imagined in my head, you know how galleries see themselves as white cubes? That's been like this thing in galleries since Jay Joplin started the White Cube Gallery in London in the 90s with the kind of YBA artists. And so I've sort of been obsessed with this idea of this white cube, and imagining a white cube in VR environments been really exciting for me. So I actually plugged white cube into AI and started modeling like, what would a VR show look like in white cubes? And from that, kind of came up with this concept of floating white cubes. And initially I thought I'd like place them in just different environments in Decentraland, that you just be walking along and there'd be this weird white cube in front of you that had art in, and you wouldn't know what was in there until you went in. And I like that element of surprise and discovery. I think what works really well in Metaverse is this sense that you're exploring something and you don't know what's through the next door. Like, you know, we're all kind of obsessed with portals and teleportation and change, and that boundary between something known and something unknown. So combining those two concepts, this white cube, almost like cliche of the gallery, and then this known unknown spaces was where the concept come from. And then yeah, that's it. And then Fractalian's like, what drew you into this as well? Because you're one of the first people I talked to about the idea for the show.
Well, just getting, I mean, for me, number one, I know any project that you're involved with, I'm all for. It's incredible to get to work with you, and everything you've done in the past has always been so inspiring. And so that was number one, really. And also just a challenge, right? A fun opportunity to like build. But it's always a pleasure to get to work with you, May.
Oh, massive kisses.
Oh, but it's just fun. I mean, like, and whenever you get given a task, you know, even when you have like, you know, you want always more time, but I think having the time constraint and the try constraint, which like I think in my world you saw like I just did planes and then took pictures of them in 3D and hacked my way through it and then built other worlds. It's like I wanted to, you know, push the limit, but that's what makes me so happy to be a part of it and see how now appreciate their work and go to these other cubes and see how they interpreted that as well. Oh, look at that, we're invisible. Oh my god, look what happened to the screen. This is hilarious. Now we're all just eyeballs dancing in space.
Do you have any more questions before we finish?
I think Dragon 8's mic is hot.
Yeah, sorry. Actually,
No, that's not me.
yeah, I think that's somebody else. But my mic was also having some issues with being auto muted too. So sorry about that. But yeah, everyone, please mute your microphone if you're not speaking at the moment. Thank you. We have a question from Metageist. Metageist would like to know, will there be opportunities to apply to be part of a future Mesh event when you've recovered from all of the insane activity it took to build this?
Do you know, I'm going to live in a yurt for 4 days. Like I'm dead, totally. But Metageist, absolutely. Like I can't not do this anymore. This is it now. So Mesh Edition 2 will be coming along, and absolutely, it was the same process as it was last time. Open call. We'll put it across Discords and across Twitter, and you'll have plenty of time to kind of put a proposal together and then create a cube. And Metageist, obviously, I'd love you to be part of this. Massive fan.
I know, I'm already imagining what the madness, beautiful creation Metageist. They're huge inspiration.
Yeah, like Vitaly and I talk about this like a lot, that we're just like these massive fangirls.
I know. I think we're living up to it. It's like, what do you think about this? I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. You know,
Yeah, it's so cool.
But that's key, you know, to have that like real passion and that play and fun, right? That's another reason why I love working with you and just love being parts of these things, because it's usually like play and fun is number one, you know?
Yeah, I was trying to explain this to the other day, like to people, because I went to NFT Show Europe the other weekend, and I was like, I was really disappointed in those little conversations until I started talking to Metaverse people, and then you just feel like, oh, cool, I can relax.
So why were you disappointed? Was it more like dry or not so playful and fun, or what was the difference?
Yeah, it's just so serious.
Oh, I don't like serious. I run away.
I feel like we can do great things and great art with still having, as you say, that playful nature and just enjoying it and just being like massive fangirls and like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah, and then we can learn from the amazing people who can write really good info about their builds. You know, I'm like, damn, right? How we can learn from that magical other side of how to share. Love it.
Rizel, how are we doing for time? Are we?
I
are we
know.
close on time?
I know. We're just rambling now.
I think we're good. If Show has any last questions, let's fire those up. My DCL crashed, so I'm reloading in the meantime. And if anyone's listening to me, head over to Box 22. We'll wrap up Q&A and toss it over to Paradox for the group shot. Oh, Paradox or Show says no further questions. So with that, I'd like to give a big shout out to Bay and Fractalians for hopping on here. They've been tour guides for us in the past and never disappoint. Definitely come check out all of these boxes on your own. As you can see, they're all like individual worlds in there and everything. So while Paradox's theme song is rolling, I'm gonna mash refresh and try and get in there. I'll also drop the link in Discord here. So if anyone's not in there, now's your chance to hopefully not blow up your computer if you haven't so far, and get on in there for the group shot here.
Thanks again, everybody, for having us on.
Massive thank you for having us on. I love being with you as the WIP community. It's just so cool to be here.
And I think that is my cue. I'm back again.
Hey.
But actually, I'm slacking off. I'll get to that in a sec. First, guys, that was an amazing tour, and it was really fun. This week, I'm actually not filming. We have the big yellow fish in the house, and they're covering the WIP photo time and the edit for the event this week. These guys are excellent filmmakers in the Metaverse, so certainly follow them on Twitter. I'll drop that in a second. So yeah, it's been really fun actually experiencing the WIP from an audience member and having such an amazing tour. So that's great. Cool. So with that, Dragonate, do you want to play the theme tune?
No.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention.
It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Hello, Big Yellow Fish is here. So it's going to be really hard to try and work out which way people need to face, but hopefully you can see my avatar, MKS Wood. I'm going to go to the center so you can see me and jump. And then what I'd like everyone to do for me, please, is face towards me. So I'll keep jumping so that you can see me, because we're in a really, really tight space. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds for everyone to try and face the right way. Everyone's all over the place currently. I'll just keep jumping. I think people are struggling to see me.
Like
Can everyone see me?
Right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Especially in a small space. All the Brits in tonight, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to try and face the correct way. Okay, so can everyone jump up and down, and then we'll do the group shot. Brilliant. Okay, I've got everything I need. Thank you, guys.
Shout out Big Yellow Fish. They do amazing work and have been covering for Paradox every time he completely slacks off. So definitely check out their Twitter. I'll be posting that that video off my Twitter handle. So look out for that. They're always dope. And I think that's about everything for today. We are going to be back next week with an awesome event / experiment that we've never done before. It's going to be Bring Your Kid to the WIP Day. And so if you have a kid, bring your kid to the WIP Day. We've got some fun activities planned. We're going to try and keep it like, we're going to try and like not swear every 10 seconds and that kind of thing, in case we got young ears in the audience. Paradox might have a kid by next week. So maybe it's bring Paradox's kid to the WIP Day. And we're also going to have Steady Breaks is going to be there. He actually has this really awesome internship program and has been supporting kids learning about the metaverse. So we're going to have him on as a guest speaker. We're going to have the kids do some sandbox build and also have them look at this WIP Ground Zero parcel and give us some suggestions. We want to do like really weird stuff with it and incorporate all y'all's ideas. So I know there's a bunch of really talented people out there. You don't even have to donate your time, just donate your ideas or send us your weirdest GLBs and we'll drop that thing in Ground Zero and just make a complete mess out of it while we're building the greater vision. Dun, dun, dun. Make sure you sign the guest book. I'm going to drop that here one more time. That's how you get your watermelon from the day. And trust me, it is delicious. You can watch Paradox's baby drop on the same day as CodeTrip. Don't miss that. Send GLBs to me, Ballistic Banana or Fractillions. I will just pass them on to Fractillions because she's the one who knows what's going on. Or if you would like to tinker around with the spot yourself, seriously hit me up. I know there's a lot of talented people in the audience, so I'm happy to drop your ETH address on the WIP Ground Zero parcel, and you can run wild with it. Feel free to break things and destroy it, and we're gonna make magic happen over there. So I think that is everything. I'm going to pass the mic over to Matt one more time, just in case I missed anything. Otherwise, thank you all for turning out today. This has been another awesome WIP, and it's really nice to be back with fam after taking a little bit of a break and everything. So we're back in the swing of things. We got a bunch of awesome WIPs already basically booked out until the end of August now. So if y'all are doing dope things and you got to get on the WIP, you need to hit us up so we can, put you on the calendar and stuff. So thank you everyone for turning out. I'm going to pass the mic over to Matt and then stick around with Show for the Afties because it's been a while and I am here for it. Thank you all.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep anyone waiting longer. Everyone needs their Afties. Everyone needs Show yelling at them. Show, I don't know if you need to learn how to yell at the folks again, but get into it, man. Where's that theme song? Dragonate.
Wait, is this thing on? Yeah!
It's time for the Afties!
Hot takes, opinions, thoughts. Let's go.
Hey y'all. How's my audio? Am I 2x2 or 5x5? If my or no, it's like I had to download the Discord app all over again, and the settings are whatever. I don't know. But anyway, hey, if you're brand new, please mute your mic if you can, if possible. Yeah. Don't trip, don't run away. Or if you do, it's all good. It's whatever, do what you gotta do. WIP fam. You know what? Since I can't curse next week because there's gonna be kids in the audience, I'm gonna curse a lot now because it's been 3 fucking weeks. It's been 3 fucking weeks that I've just been confused and I don't know what because of the space not knowing what it is anymore. I've been tweeting and watching things, and then suddenly some shit happens. Some fucking shit happens. What I've been talking about for months on end, for years on end, saying the same 3 or 4 names over and over again. Finally, one of these bullies got punched in the face. One of these bullies got what they deserved. The catalyst of all catalysts, what I thought this year's catalyst for triggering a bull run, the catalyst, the only catalyst we had other than the Halvening, which is next year, I thought this catalyst was gonna jump start shit. It happened last week. But before I do that, I just want to share something, all right? You guys ever get into friendly fire? Hold on, let me make sure I'm not showing any porn. Can you see my screen? Click on my screen. Click on my screen. No, it's safe. It's safe. It's safe, but it's NSFW this week, but it's safe for work next week because there's gonna be kids and shit. So anyway, all right. So last Thursday when I woke up and I saw the notification I've been waiting for months. Please click on my screen just so you know, because I need all your opinions. I need all your opinions on this. So I woke up, I got a notification from decrypt.co that said that the judge ruled on the Ripple case. But I just thought that, you know, it was just another little like, oh, the judge just gave an opinion. Not that she gave the summary judgment, right? I was half asleep and I was like, fuck this. But then when I woke up and I saw, I was like, oh shit. So then I run to Twitter and I'm trying to see if everybody's going nuts, going crazy, because that's what happens in our space. When there's like a big thing, everybody's talking about it. There were people talking about it, but I was like, wait, the energy, it's there, but it's like not where it should be. So anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm drinking some coffee, and then I see one of my favorite accounts, Crypto Law, founded by John Deaton. John Deaton is the champion. He's been championing the whole XRP army war against the SEC that became our collective war, which is the whole reason why I've been supporting in the first place, because I believe that this was the catalyst for us undoing the FUD from Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army, from Gary Gensler's attempt at gaining more and more power because he's a shrivel something. So I see this tweet from Crypto Law, which was founded by John Deaton, who I love. I fucking love them. Now, please look at this tweet. He says, hey, Gary, guess what? Now the law is clear. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. If you're not looking, please click. If you're in the voice channel, please click on me and look at what I'm talking about. I was like, oh, shit, man. I was excited. So then, I was so excited. Like, I started seeing that, like, there were like random invites to parties. Like, for real, like in the city, they're like, you know, there's a lot of XRP holders in the city. And I was like, oh shit, yo, everybody's celebrating. So I quote tweet, and I was like, hey, the Ripple Moon Boys in these NYC streets are going nuts today. Random party invites out of nowhere. Fire. Now, when I say Moon Boy, you all know if I'm like dissing anyone, right? Like, for one, I refer to myself as a Moon Boy only because I refer to myself as a degen, only because I know that these terms have deeper meaning than the surface insult of saying, oh, you Moon Boys. It's beyond that now. If you're in this shit, you're a fucking Moon Boy and Moon Girl. If you're in this shit, you're a degen. If you're in this shit, it's not a slap in the face. So I tweet this out, right? And now look at the screen. I'm big and nothing of it. Like, no one responds to my shit. No one reads my tweets anymore anyway. Like, everybody, like, all my followers muted me. All 3,000 followers of mine have all muted my tweets because of me and my project. So then I get a response. I don't know if you can see this response. Look at this response right here. I'm gonna zoom in, hopefully. Look at this response. So, okay, remember I said the Ripple Moon Boys in these NYC streets are going nuts. Random party invites out of nowhere So now look at this response and tell me, was this response warranted? Thank you, Sandy. I love you. Was this response warranted? Like, was this like is this the type of response that you give to someone who loves your account, who has other tweets that are very pro what's going on? This feels aggressive, right? Like, I'm not just reading into it. It felt this is what it felt like when I read this, right? It felt like, I'm just gonna use Rizzle as an example. Let's say it's like Rizzle is like, hey, we had an awesome event with Paradox, Bay, and Fractillions. It was awesome. It was great. And then like, this is what the WIP is all about. And I'm like, yeah. The WIP Moon Boys in these NYC streets are going crazy today. There's so many events I want to be invited to. There's so many more events that I want to be at. And then Rizzle responds, for the record, all right, this WIP Meetup account is all about matters of the metaverse. All right, it's not about trading any coin. And this was a victorious day. A victorious day for the WIP. A victorious day for Paradox. A victorious day for Bay. A victorious day for the lovely and amazing Fractillions. All right, that, sir, is worth celebrating. Now, am I wrong in thinking that maybe this person, because I'm not sure if it was John himself or maybe it was like he has a younger daughter, maybe it was her, and maybe they just saw the word Moon Boy and they didn't read it, they didn't feel the tone, they didn't get like the vibe. Like they didn't read the tweet itself. They didn't get like, oh, I'm not accusing you. I referenced multiple people. I referenced the street. I didn't say these Twitter streets. I said, it's like, oh, why would you think, oh, so maybe I didn't know if they live in New York. You see what I'm getting at? So anyway, this pissed me off. Like, this made me feel uncomfortable because friendly fire sucks. That's why I use Rizzle as just an example, because Rizzle isn't like that. Friendly fire sucks when like people you love or like friends misunderstand the, like, when you're saying something that's actually like it feels uncomfortable. So I was like, wait, what? And then I respond, I'm like, hey, listen, I didn't mean Moon Boy in the derogatory sense. All right. And I agree wholeheartedly that it was a victorious day for the rule of law. Thank you for your continuous fight for the crypto space as a whole. And then I'm like, hey, why don't you see my previous tweets? And then I let a couple hours go by and I reread it just to be like, hey, am I tripping? Am I fucking tripping? And I was like, look, man, there's a misunderstanding here in terms of context and tone. The context and tone of my tweet. All right, there's multiple things that should have hinted at, hey, this is a high five. I gave you a fucking fire emoji. All right, I said I referenced a location. I didn't reference Twitter. I didn't say this Ripple Moon Boy as in the crypto law Moon Boy. I didn't reference that all the XRP army. Hell, I have tweets showing love to them. And then at the end of this, I said, hey, we're on the same side. We're on the same side. And then on top of that, I said, great stream from John. Because he literally just streamed, which I'm about to show very briefly. I said, great stream from John. And you know what I got as a response? Fucking crickets. Not like a, oh, hey, sorry, I misread your tweet. Oh, I jumped the gun. I thought that you
You were disrespecting me in the army. You're just another. I saw .eth in your name, and I thought that you were talking shit. You only have 3,000 followers. I have 150,000 followers. You're nothing. I just thought that you were just another random bot cursing me out. I don't have time to look at your media, your tweets, to even see if you're like a real person. But the Twitter algo changed it so many damn times that no one fucking sees anything anyway. So anyway, let's see if I can get to this right here. I don't know if you see this. Okay, so I felt a little hurt. That's why. I felt a little fucking hurt. I'm not sensitive. I just felt hurt. It's like friendly fire. It's like, damn, man. Like, what? It's like, oh, so you don't want to be homies? So I was like, fuck it. I let it go. It was bittersweet because it was a day of victory. But then I was like, damn, maybe this is the universe saying, hey, man, this catalyst that we thought was a catalyst probably wasn't a strong catalyst for breaking the monotony and the stasis that we've been stuck in, this cryogenic sleep. I don't have much time, so I'm going to play this out just to catch everybody up. Basically, big shit happened. TLDR, XRP is as a token by itself is not a security. But the actions that you take, the transactions, can be labeled as a security. This is brand new territory for our space. This just exonerates so many companies, so many venture capitalists, so many coin makers and holders and builders. I can't even begin, but no. After
and we
okay, no, skip.
We got the decision today, as all of you should know by now. And the one I really feel validated about, believe it or not, is my faith that Judge Torres, along with Judge Netburn, were the good judges. If many of you remember, when we got the judge, because you don't know which judge you're going to get in the Southern District of New York or many other districts. And Judge Torres, I did a little research. I read a couple of her summary judgment decisions. I saw that she had been critical of the Department of Justice in the past. And I saw a judge who sort of ignores the bullshit and ignores the noise and just applies the law. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. And a judge who's not afraid to call it something out, to call the government out if that's what needs to be done. And so to a lot of the people who were so frustrated about how long it took, who started doubting her and doubting, is she in bed with the SEC? Hopefully you have a little bit of faith restored, okay, that we had a judge who applied the law. And when you apply the law objectively, you get the right decision in this case. Remember what I said before. I said that early sales of XRP in those early days could be construed as an investment contract, but that this approach that selling them in the secondary market, buying it off Coinbase or Uphold or Kraken, that those were also investment contracts, that's nonsense. And today, that's what we got. And so I'm going to take you through the opinion real quick and highlight a few things. And yes, XRP holders are cited. The judge cited all the amicus briefs that she read them all. Spin the Bits, XRP holders, Digital Chamber of Commerce, all of the ones that were submitted, because this is a conscientious judge. And XRP holders' affidavits, I'm going to show you how they made it into this opinion. And so I want the people to feel good about themselves, right? People who waited patiently, people who participated and took the time to sign an affidavit, get it notarized, who didn't mind their name being out there, who wasn't fear of retaliation by the government, who said, I just want to have my voice heard. Well, your voice got heard, and I can show you what I mean by that. So let's go through the opinion real quick. An exceptionally concise, well-written, well-analyzed decision by Judge Torres. Very methodical, very simplistic.
To this channel if you want to watch more, or you can just go to Crypto Law on Twitter and you can watch the stream there as well, you know, or on their YouTube page. But the reason why this is important for all of us is because for a very long time, in the back of our minds, we always knew that the government didn't fully understand this shit, and that when we saw that they were being hostile, extremely hostile to this, we wanted them to understand enough in order to establish some kind of law that set the rules. So that when a regulator says, no, fuck that, the law is clear, we're not going to create no new shit, and we're just going to be suing everybody, and everything is going to be predicated on the fact that this technology is what I say it is. And since it is what I say it is, I'm saying that you're a criminal, and I say that you owe me this amount, which is illegal because you don't have jurisdiction over this when there are legal entities who created this technology are legally operating, and they're asking clearly for guidance and assistance directly from you. This is wrong. You know, it's terrible. Happen. The case against Coinbase, the case against Binance, in Coinbase's case specifically, it's about having unregistered securities. When it came to what happened with Gemini and Kraken, it was about unregistered securities, and then they try to tack on some other bullshit about some illegal commingling here and there. With Binance, they're saying it's big on commingling, and then in the secondary level, they have BNB, which is a security. So this right here is a massive loss for Gary Gensler, to the point where Gary decides to he tried to do some propaganda, some psyops. He starts saying, oh, hey, this is a big win for the SEC because Judge Torres split the baby. She said that Ripple was had illegal transactions in order in her ICO. Just because they had institutional agreements with companies to buy some XRP when it launched. So basically, your IPO, you were behind the scenes selling your well, we call it ICOs, but just know an IPO is an ICO in crypto terms. Just so you know that. All right. But other than that, he was saying, "Oh, hey, yeah, oh, I'm so disappointed that they said that that XRP is not a security. That's not true. The Howey test is complete. It's full. We did everything correctly. There's nothing but fraudsters and all these things in his space." It's like he was such a sore fucking loser. Him and Gurbir Grewal. I told you these people's names. I don't know if you all were following. You like. Do you see these motherfuckers? The audacity. And sorry, it's 4:31. I'm gonna leave us with this. I wrote a tweet before where I said, hey, the formula for us to be fucking mooning again is gonna be an XRP win in this judgment case. What else? I forgot the formula. I forgot the form shit. BlackRock's spot ETF being approved. And last but not least, the Patrick Mahenry bill that all the senators are working on, not the Loomis, not the Cynthia Loomis one. That one's gonna be shot down. They need to dissect that and take parts of that and merge that into the Patrick Mahenry bill that's being done with the Agricultural Committee. So if that happens this week or next week, then we're gonna moon. All they need, the SEC has acknowledged, by the way, Fidelity, Invesco, BlackRock, Vanguard, Kathy Wood's ARK Investment, Spot ETFs, filings. Yeah, you guys have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, right? You have no clue, I don't think. Guys, you gotta start reading up. I love you. Read up. If you hear this shit, what I'm saying, study up. This involves on the planet, the largest asset holder in the fucking world, private. They're so private that they're public. That's how fucking big they are. So Spot ETF, the SEC, Gary Gensler just suffered this loss. He has to approve. If he doesn't approve, if they totally say no, then Patrick Mahenry literally said that he's on his ass, which is a credible threat. And the fact that Patrick Mahenry is also in that chair and he's pushing that shit forward, this may be the catalyst. But the XRP win wasn't enough. It was a big one. It wasn't enough. It wasn't in the Supreme Court. It was only district. That's why it's not as huge as it is. Anyway, love. Google search all the fucking things I just said. All right. Much love, and I'll see you later.
We can get an. We got it. That's the best thing that's ever happened.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's what it means.
Sunshine.